back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Janae. I film nursing videos and vlogs about my life as a new mom. So today's video is basically inspired by some questions that I got in my comment section. She asked me a couple of questions, but one of the ones that stood out the most to me was, she said, when I talk to people about the LPN program, they say it's a waste of time and money if you want to get your RN. Now, my response to that is, first of all, why do people feel like it's okay to give you their opinion when they don't even know your situation? They don't know what this girl's situation is. She could be a single mom, she could be struggling, anything like that. So why would you take it upon yourself to tell her something that she's striving for is a waste of time? Anytime people are just throwing their opinions at you, they don't even know your situation, I would advise you to just take it with a grain of salt. And basically my response is no, the LPN program is not a waste of time at all. When I first started my program, I would have people try to tell me the same thing, that no, you should just go straight to get your RN, but they didn't know my situation. When I was 18, I was out of my mom's house. I didn't have anybody to take care of me, so I had to make some moves, and to me the LPN program was the fastest route. So I enrolled in my program. There was no waiting list. I finished in a year and a half, and I came out making pretty good money. So basically, if you know if something is right for you, you don't have to listen to anybody else's opinions, because you know in your gut what is right for you. And you know, I can understand the advice that someone would give. They say, if you know that you are not going to be disciplined enough to go back, then you should probably go straight through. That advice I can understand, because it's true. Once you become an LPN, you get kind of comfortable with that new income, and you can be like, well, I'm fine. So you don't have like that much of an urge or a rush to go back, and you can end up prolonging going back to school. But basically, I don't think it's a waste at all, because the average LPN program is like between $10,000 to $15,000, and the average BSN program is anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000. And this, of course, depends on several different factors, whether it's a public school or a private school, and several other factors like the state that you're in and things like that. But it's not a waste, because when you do go back to school, you will be paying for a bridge program versus a full bachelor's degree, if that makes any sense. So think of LPN as like paying for half of your education now and half of it later. But the difference is, when you do go back to school, if you have your LPN, you will have experience under your belt, you will have a solid income, you will already have a job that you could go back to at any time, etc., etc. Another good benefit of having your LPN when you go back to RN school is that you can be a PRN nurse, and that gives you the flexibility that you need while you're in school. You're not obligated to work. You know, you can kind of pick up on the days as you see fit. And honestly, like, being a PRN nurse can be very lucrative if you split up your work between like 2 or 3 different facilities. Like, there's so much opportunity to make good money in a short amount of time, because what happens is, if you're a PRN nurse, like, you're needed when they can't fill a shift, basically. And a lot of times when that happens, companies will offer a bonus on top of your regular pay. Like, for example, tomorrow is Memorial Day, and they don't have anybody to work on second floor at my job. So they sent out a message that says, hey, if you can work tomorrow, you get time and a half, and you receive a $200 bonus on top of it. So that is like the typical message that somebody who is PRN will get, especially if they have multiple different facilities that they work at. So just keep that in mind. It's a lot of flexibility when you already, you know, have your LPN versus trying to work a regular job with lower pay and going back to school. And I will also say, if you don't want to pay a lot of money for school, I would try to find a public school, some technical colleges and things like that, because it definitely makes a difference in your price per credit. Private schools can be very expensive, and I know firsthand because I'm in one right now. So if you can find a good program at a good price point, I would definitely go for it. All right, so the next question that she asked was, what advice would you give someone that's single, living on their own, working full-time as a CNA? My advice would definitely be to make a plan, something very organized, and stick to it. When I started LPN school, I was working full-time as a waitress and bartender, and it was tough, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would go straight from school, I would drive all the way straight from school and go to work, and then, babe, you be throwing off my juju when you do that. When I was in LPN school, I would drive straight from school to work and work a full shift and go home. And then any days that I had off, I would spend that entire day studying. I was not hanging out, I was not fooling around. Like, all my extra time was basically spent studying because I had my goal in my mind. I knew what I wanted to do, and that was just a sacrifice that I knew I had to make at that time. So if you are serious, you will make that sacrifice as well. Okay, and I basically just want to say, if you know this is something that you want to do it. You don't have to listen to everybody else's opinion. A lot of those people that were telling me an LPN program was a waste of time, now I make more money than them in less time. A lot of those people have bachelor degrees and they don't even make close to what you make. So don't listen to that. You know what's best for you. Okay, so I wish you all good luck in your nursing journey, and keep me updated, keep me posted on how it's going. And as usual, if you enjoyed the video, comment, like, and subscribe.